you doing up there, Jack? Cleaning up after dinner.
Cat dishes. They stuff their bellies and leave me the mess.
Cats are always a lot of work. The cats are a huge job around this house. It's never a dull moment when you have 7 cats. All right, Jack.
You want to make sure of that. Thank goodness he goes to the vet tomorrow. Tomorrow.
You gotta go to the doctor tomorrow, Jackson. The doctor likes you. Jack's got to go for a follow-up.
His Prozac meds.
He's been getting meds to keep him a little calmer because he likes to battle some of the other cats. And he gets pretty mean. There's been some pretty bad fights with the blood and hair all over the place. And we had him on medication a while ago, about a year ago.
We just weaned him off in February.
Weaned him off of the medication in February because of the side effects that he was having. So, he was real lethargic and just sleeping all the time and wasn't being the old Jack that we like. So as soon as he got weaned off of the medication, he went right back to his scrapping, just like a little biker cat, an old pirate, whatever, a troublemaker. And he started in with his trouble. So we took him to the vet, and the vet said, well, let's get him on something different and see what happens. So we put him on kitty Prozac. And he's been on that for a couple weeks now, so the vet wants to see him again and see how things are going. So tomorrow afternoon, we take Jack back in to see the veterinarian. And hopefully it won't cost an arm and a leg. It can be pretty expensive going to the vet. So we were back from our camp out today. We returned yesterday. But yesterday morning, she had been telling me inside the camper that she kept smelling the Blackwater tank, the sewage.
I even put 2 deodorizers in the tank.
And you still smelled it?
I still smelled it.
So she kept asking me, do you smell it? And I said, no, I don't smell anything. But she kept saying she smelled it. So yesterday morning, we were at the campground. And again, she said,
I smell sewage as soon as I walked in the door.
That she smelled more sewage. I climbed up on the roof to sweep off the slide outs. And sure enough, the vent cap up on the top of the roof didn't look right. In fact, it looked bad, like it had pushed up from down below and the breather cap was all pushed off. So right away we called the dealer. I explained to the service guy what was going on, and he said, yep, you got a problem there, you got to bring it in. So our trailer was hauled back up to the dealer yesterday and dropped off there for a repair.
And it's still there.
Do you miss it?
I do.
It's like our home away from home. And even though we're home, it's always parked, over in the driveway behind the garage, and you can go out there anytime you want. And it's like we look out there now, there's an empty parking spot. It's not there. So it feels like we're missing our right arm.
This is Capone. He's a gangsta. Capone. And he lets me touch his belly. He's such a good boy. Another black kitty.
He is what? A
He's a Persian. He's got a pushed-in face. Capone is a Persian. He's beautiful.
He's a good boy.
Are you wanting to take a walk? You wanting to take a walk? Should I get your Jack pack? Do you want to go out? I think you understand me. Walk? Okay, let's get that Jack pack.
She calls the harness for Jack his Jack pack. Yeah, he goes by the door and he'll wait for her to put it on. You see, he ran right to the door.
I don't know which one of us is trained, him or me. All he did was sit there and stare at me, and I knew what he wanted.
Yeah.
I think I'm trained. Where are we going? Where are we going?
And then there's a complainer over here. Smokey, he hates it when Jack takes a walk. He wants to walk too.
Well, Smoke used to live outside. He at one time was feral, and after many, many years, I finally tamed him. He was in our video trapping cats that some people get upset about. But now he's a house cat, so... What you doing? Jack, I see a fire. Where do you want to go?
Well, they're up in the catio. And Jack's the only one who really walks. And nobody really cares except Smokey. Smokey wants to walk too, but Smokey takes off. Sunflower patch is looking really pretty today. Sun's coming through, and that's kind of a rarity for the last couple days, because as you know, it rained and rained and rained. So now the rain has stopped, the sun is shining, the grass is actually dry right now. It's been wet all day. How do I know that? Because my shoes are soaking wet. I remember the video where I showed you where I had collections and I had tons and tons of lumber piled up in the basement and the garage and the shed. So I sorted lumber today and I got rid of it. Burned it. I had a huge bonfire here today, burning up the rest of the lumber. So we got a little pile of smoldering ashes there. And it's not really campfire lumber, so it doesn't have that good campfire aroma. So I went through the garage first, got the lumber cleaned out of there. And of course I didn't throw it all away. There's certain pieces that I really wanted to keep. But I sorted it and I carried armload after armload out to the fire. Then I went out to the shed and got rid of some of that. And then I went down the basement and tackled that and got all that lumber sorted out. Most of it anyway. There might be a piece or two that I missed.
He didn't make it very far. He just plopped down.
Jack, you pooped out already. Jack likes it when it's really cool in the morning. And then he'll go. But in the afternoons like this, when it's hot and sticky, he takes a little walk, and then he just lays down. And he could just lay there all day and be happy. He wants to be king of the yard.
His favorite time is 6 a.m. That's when we usually go for a walk, and he'll keep me out for an hour. We just make loop after loop around the house into the dark woods.
So now the garage kind of has this aroma of paint thinner. I had down underneath here, I was sorting some stuff out, and way down underneath the workbench, I had a can, like a gallon can of paint thinner. And I don't know if it was because it was sitting on the cement floor or what, but I picked it up to move it. So all I was going to do is move it and put it in a different spot, and it started leaking. And I didn't know it was leaking right away, you know. So I'm going about my business. I'm working out here in the garage. And I go, man, I'm smelling paint. What the heck is that paint smell I'm smelling? And so I started looking around, and sure enough, you know, the workbench is like soaking wet, where it leaked out probably a quart of paint thinner onto the shelf. So I cleaned all that mess up, had to dump the paint thinner. It was just dripping out the bottom of the can. So yeah, that was the end of an old can of paint thinner. I probably should have gotten rid of it a long time ago. I don't use paint thinner very often. In fact, when I clean paintbrushes, I use a gasoline, because I got a lot of it, you know, for the lawnmower and stuff. I just use that to wash my paintbrushes. Is that wrong? So anyway, the garage smells like paint thinner. Even with the doors open, you still got that stink in there. Too hot for a walk, huh? Hey, at least you get to come out and blow the stink off. It's pretty warm today. It was pretty sticky. I spent the last part of the day out there in the shed. Yuck. The shed's one of the older buildings here, where we keep the mower and the garden tools. So it gets overrun by mice. They like to make their nests in there. So when you open the doors to the shed, it smells like mouse piss. So I'm in there today cleaning stuff out, and dead mice. It was horrible. Mouse crap all over the place. I think they make that their estate. The mouse estate. Little blue tent, that's Jack's tent. He likes to camp out in that thing.
I bought it for all of them. I picked it up at Walmart for like $3, but he claimed it right away. And he's always in there, sleeping.
So every time we look out there and we see Jack in that little blue cube, we say he's camping out in his tent. He likes to be outdoors.
You airing out that tummy?
My mom ended up going into the hospital yesterday for surgery. It wasn't an emergency, but she had been having some issues as of recent, and really needed to get some things taken care of. So I guess she had multiple issues.
Mm-hmm. She had her gallbladder removed, and she had 2 hernias.
2 hernia repairs, yeah. So, and all of that was an outpatient. Anymore, the insurance companies don't want you staying in the hospital.
And she's what, 84?
84-year-old woman. And her surgery was at 9:45, I think. And by 3 o'clock, she was home with some pain medicine. So I did talk to her today, and she's feeling okay, but of course she's all loopy on oxycodone, so when that wears off, I'm sure she would be in some pain. She said she had a sore throat because they put the tube down her throat when they did the surgery.
Intubated.
Incubated her.
Intubated.
How do you say that?
Intubated.
Intubated?
Incubated when you put a baby in the incubator.
Intubated.
Yes.
Okay. I just say incubated. They put a tube down her throat. But now, when was it? Just not too long ago, my dad had his gallbladder.
May.
It was in May. And he had a gallbladder attack, so I ended up running over there at that point and picking him up in their car and rushed him to the hospital because we didn't know what was going on. He was just in some severe pain, and he was just moaning and groaning and crying. And they ended up taking his gallbladder out. So now my mom's turn.
Well, your dad had 2 surgeries. He had his gallbladder out, and then the following week, they were at a different doctor for an appointment, and turns out he was having heart issues and had to get a pacemaker.
They put a pacemaker in him now. They put the pacemaker right up here and under his skin, and it has little wires, little electrodes that run on down to his heart. And how long did they say that thing would last? 7 years?
I thought it was 10.
7 to 10 years that thing will last on the battery. And it's weird because the doctor can control it with the remote control thing. But it sets a beat for the heart, and it just gives a little tiny spark that keeps that heart pumping at the same rate. Without it, his heart was pumping erratically. It was all over the place.
Well, just the top chamber was pumping. There's 2 chambers. There's a top one and a bottom. The top was pumping. The bottom was not. So now the pacemaker forces the bottom chamber to do its thing.
And it has to pump in a rhythm with the top. I think they don't pump together. It's like boom, boom, boom,
Yep.
boom, 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 top, bottom, top, bottom. So yeah, that pacemaker keeps that rhythm in tune. So, and he said afterwards, after he got the pacemaker in there, that he had tons of energy. But that was in May, June. Now it's middle of August, and he says he's running out of energy again. So I don't know. Yeah, when they came out to the camp, of course, a couple videos back, they joined us at the campground for a picnic. Cooked some burgers over the fire for them. And after we ate, we asked them if they want to take a little walk around the campground. And they were eager to do that. You know, it's been a while since they'd ever been camping. And so we started strolling around the campground, and my dad only made it a couple 100 yards, maybe.
Yeah.
And then he was out of breath. He says, I got to go back. And so Vee took him back to the RV, and they just sat around the fire. My mom, she was gung-ho. She wanted to walk around the whole campground. She was like a little kid. She was so excited to just to share that camping experience, you know. Smoky Joe.
He's listening to you talk, your story, and he's just rolling all over the place.
He likes to hear people talk, I guess. He's just chilling outside. You know, wherever we are, these guys like to be. They're just happy if they're around us.
Cats get a really bad rap, but from being around them so much and all the time, all they really want is some love. They just respond, you know, to pets, to kisses, to just talking to them. It just amazes me how they respond to it. They're just full of love, like little love machines. They're so different, like people, too. Smokey loves chicken. Capone loves ice cream. Every night after dinner, he has to get a little teaspoon of ice cream. Lucy loves spaghetti. They're just all so different. And when we have steak, I tell them it's mouse, and they gobble it up. I give them the leftover scraps.
No, we're not eating steak every night. But when we do, they know it.
They're so spoiled.
Each one, yeah, that like Vee said. I mean, when we cook spaghetti, Lucy comes running in the kitchen and just meowing up a storm. And Val will put a little plate down there with some spaghetti. She'll chop it all up, and Lucy will eat the whole plate full. She loves it.
And she started a new habit with you before you go to work. She sits on the steps behind you while you're putting on your work boots. And when you stand up, you have to pick her up and cradle her like a baby. And she just purrs and purrs every morning. She
wants that every morning. And she'll sit there and just wait patiently until I'm ready. And she lets me pick her up, and I hold her like a little baby. And she just lays there and just purrs. And she would sit there all day and let me hold her. But, I got to go to work, so I just make it short and sweet and set her back down. She's happy then. That's all she wants. There's Gracie Marie. She's hiding behind the tent. Being very sneaky back there. But she's a feral, so you can't get close to her. Never will. She still likes to be around us, though. She still likes to hear us talk. But that's just one of the cats that, we'll never get to hold on our lap or anything like that.
But once you make that commitment, I have to stick with it. I can't take her to a shelter because she's not socialized, so she would get euthanized. And I can't. That would just be like killing her. So she'll just stay here with us until the end of her time.
Might be a long time. She's, how old is she?
She's 6.
She's 6, and cats live to be...
Well, they can live to be in their 20s. I've never had a cat live that old. The one that most recently died was 16. But she could be around for another 12, 14 years yet.
Maybe in 12 or 14 years she'll finally get tame.
Jack is our alpha, and I witness it daily. The other cats come up to him, except for Lucy. They'll come up to him and they'll rub on him, and they want Jack to groom them, which is a sign of acceptance. Sometimes he'll do it, and then other times he bops him on the head. He doesn't want to be bothered. But he is definitely our alpha.
That's Lucy. I think she ate too much.
She's just zonked out on her back.
Sound asleep back there in the corner. So when we go camping, cats don't like it. They get cranky when we're gone. And they can't wait for us to get home.
Well, they're very routine animals. They like to have a set routine. And we have that daily routine. You get up and go to work. I'm home all day with them. Take Jack for his walk. And they just know that I'm here. And when we go away for 2-3 days at a time, they just don't like their routine disturbed.
So here we are, back in kitty land, taking care of kitties.
Went to the store, got food. I'm going to make some crock pot chicken noodle soup tomorrow. It has wine in it, and it's so good. And we'll take some over to Mark's mom. And I'm going to make them a pepperoni bread. They saw our video on that, and they were real curious about it, so I'll make them one of those.
Pepperoni bread, good. Mm-hmm.
I'll make you one, too.
Ooh, yummy.
Mm-hmm. And then I bought some more ingredients to make some more soap. We have goat milk, so we're going to make some goat milk soap tomorrow. I bought some coloring. Hopefully I can make it purple.
Purple soap?
It's supposed to be really, really good for your skin. Olive oil, goat milk.
That's a sheep. How does a goat sound? When I go to the fair, it sounds like they're going, "Mack, Mack," like they're calling me. Plan for tomorrow.
You're going to continue working
Back
on
to the shed.
Good. I can't wait to get a new floor in there.
Got to pull everything out of the shed. Okay, I cleaned it out today and got rid of most of the stuff I didn't want. Tomorrow, everything comes out of the shed. The old floor comes up, and the new floor goes down. So, probably first thing, a trip to Home Depot, pick up the plywood that I need, then back home, and start ripping the shed apart.
I know there's a big fat woodchuck that lives underneath there. He goes in at the back of the shed, so when you pull up that floor, you are going to be shocked at what you find under there.
I'm not looking forward to it when I pull that floor up, what's underneath there. Not looking forward to it. But that's on the agenda tomorrow. And I'm sure there'll be some stories to go along with that job.
You need to set up your camera so everybody can see what you find.
Probably a great big spider or something.
Or you get sprayed by a skunk.
Yeah, a litter of skunks. That wouldn't surprise me either.